All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Life of a Marketer podcast. And today I have one of my first guests, which is actually my mom. So I'm going to interview my mom because she has a lot of experience in the world of technology. She started, years ago in teaching computer science. And then now, after all these years, is working with Cisco. And so she's been in the technology field for a long time. In our house, we were one of the first people when I was growing up that would have a PC in our home and that would play with it. As this is a newer podcast, I thought it would be fun to start out interviewing her before we just start jumping into interviewing marketers. This is my mom, Gay Berryman. Mom, tell me in your own words, what is it that you do for work on a daily basis?
Okay, so basically what I do is train trainers to teach students in different tech courses, computer science, programming, networking, cybersecurity, Internet of Things. And then we support those trainers after they're trained, as well as supporting their students if they need it, with equipment help when they purchase equipment, with maintaining that equipment, upgrading that equipment. We help them with classroom organization. We teach a lot of pedagogy so that we assist them, not just training them for the material, we also train them how to teach the material. We do that with a lot of demos, not just reading or telling the curriculum. We do that with a lot of demos, very much of a hands-on type program, where students are engaged using actual equipment or simulators constantly. So that's kind of the gist of what I do. We are privileged to serve academies, we call them, in about 17 US states. I have a couple of Canadian provinces that I assist. I've trained people in Afghanistan, Germany, Guam. Talked to a lady in Brasilia, in the Congo, last week, and working with her. So we just attempt to provide quality training so that they can in turn provide a quality program for their students.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that. That was a good summary. All right. Keeping in mind, this is a podcast for marketers and for business people. Having been in technology for a long time, what piece of advice do you want to share with businesses?
Well, it's curious you can ask me that because it wasn't about an hour ago, I was getting my hair cut and I was talking to the hairdresser and I asked her, what do you do to market yourself? And she said, well, we took a picture of our hairdressers here and we give it to everybody. I said, well, do you do something proactive to market yourself? And she really didn't know what I was talking about and to build her clientele. So as far as how I market my program, because basically everybody has to market themselves. I don't care what job you have to market yourself. The way I market my program is I try to get on the agenda of a lot of conferences. I try to reach the decision makers, whether it is a school, university, a community college, and try to present to them. If you have a product you believe in, all you have to do is present it to the decision makers and to the players. And basically, if you believe in your product and you can show them how it will benefit that school, that organization, that nonprofit, then you've got a sale, you might say.
Okay, awesome. All right. So getting in front of the decision maker, how do you besides conferences, how do you find yourself getting in front of the decision makers?
Well, that's a great question. Many times the point of contact will be not the decision maker. It will be maybe the person that would be closest, in this case, to the student. So what we try to do then is contact them, usually by email. And we can go on websites and get those principals, superintendents, associate deans, vice presidents. Simply email them and ask them, tell them that we're a Cisco partner. We'd like to show them how we can work within the framework of their curriculum and fit our courses into their curriculum. Sometimes it's just kind of a hunting game. You just have to do some grunt work at your seat. A lot of times at a conference, if you're presenting to a group, you can ask questions and find out they're the decision makers. Can't just sell the product, which really basically it's a product. You have to show them how it relates to something they're already doing, and will enhance what they're already doing, will provide another resource to what they're already using.
Do you find yourself using LinkedIn a lot to reach out to people and find people?
LinkedIn has not been as productive for us in our particular program, since it is very specific to schools, be they independent school district, college, or university. Occasionally, you might get a contact that way. Many times, you are working maybe with a state organization, with higher ed, with an education agency. So you find the contacts that way. But the LinkedIn for my particular field, because it is an educational product, does not work as well as maybe educational forums.
Okay, awesome. All right. So do you know anyone in the marketing field that is successful that you'd like to say hello to and maybe recommend for this podcast?
Well, I do. We do have a marketing team with the Cisco team. I do not know their names, but I could find out their names.
Cool. Awesome. So homework for you.
Keep in mind, this is a nonprofit. So what you're doing is you have a large company that's got this corporate social responsibility program, one of the largest in the world, and they basically are just getting name recognition out of it. So their products that the schools use, they don't really make a profit on. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult to appeal to that, although we do want that name out there in front of, they use Cisco equipment, of course. Right. So that many times a account manager will work with a school or a college or a university because they want to sell their gear for that particular college or university. And so therefore they can make a bridge with a network academy, the CSR program. So you're still selling a product. It's just a little bit of a different kind of product. It's an educational product.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right, cool. So one last fun question. Tell me the oldest technology that you remember using.
Well, I have one right here. I have a pencil. Pencils are really a technological aspect. Paper with lines on it is a piece of technology. And so often I think we try to make things more difficult than they are. We take for granted all the things sitting here on my desk. A file folder is a great piece of technology to organize yourself. So what do we do before file folders? But the oldest, if you're talking about electronic technology, probably the old Atari, one of the original Atari game.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Mrs. Berryman, thank you so much for coming on my podcast. For the 3 people that might actually watch this, we're going to be having we've already got some great guests lined up in the marketing world. Next week, we have Justin Brook, who's the founder of AdSkills, which is really cool. So if you want to see that, like and subscribe on this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if not, you can follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn, where I'll be live streaming these. And thanks for tuning into this podcast. Thanks so much, Gay Berryman. We appreciate you.
Thank you.